This is the last time you'll ever feel sad. From tomorrow morning, sadness is gone forever. You wake up smiling. Your family smiles. The news is full of smiling faces. No one cries anymore. No one feels lonely. No one misses anyone. At first, it feels like humanity has finally won. But then, people stop visiting hospitals. Nobody mourns the dead. Children stop caring when they lose their parents. Friends disappear, and no one goes looking for them. Because without sadness, something else disappeared too. Something nobody expected. And by the end of this video, you might realize that sadness was never the real enemy. What if sadness never existed? But wait a second. Why did nobody visit the hospital? Why did the child simply walk away? Why didn't anyone care? After all, they weren't suffering anymore. Isn't that what we've always wanted? A world without pain, without heartbreak, without grief. So why does this world suddenly feel so empty? Maybe because sadness was never working alone. Think about the people you love the most, your parents, your best friend, your partner, your child. Now imagine losing one of them and feeling absolutely nothing. No tears, no ache, no longing. Would that really be peace? Or would it mean that love itself had disappeared? Because maybe the reason losing someone hurts so much isn't because sadness is powerful. It's because love is. And maybe sadness is simply the price we pay for caring about someone in the first place. But if that's true, then another question appears. If sadness is the cost of love, why did evolution choose such a painful price? What if I told you your brain never evolved to make you happy? It evolved to keep you alive. And sadness was one of its greatest inventions. Nature is strange. It doesn't care if you're happy. It never has. Imagine two early humans. Both lose someone they love. One of them feels nothing. No sadness, no grief. The next morning, life simply goes on. The other can't stop thinking about what happened. They become quieter, more careful, more protective. Now ask yourself, which one is more likely to protect the people they still have? Which one learns from loss? Which one notices danger sooner because they never want it to happen again? Evolution has never rewarded the strongest or the smartest. It rewards the one who survive long enough to have children. And sometimes survival means remembering pain, not because pain is good, but because forgetting it could be fatal. That idea changes everything. Maybe sadness isn't your brain trying to hurt you. Maybe it's your brain trying to protect your future. And once scientists started studying emotions, they discovered something surprising. Every single emotion seems to have a job. Fear tells you something is dangerous. Anger tells you something feels unfair. Disgust keeps you away from things that might make you sick. Happiness rewards behaviors that help you survive. So then, what job does sadness do? The answer might explain why humans became one of the most social species on Earth. Because for most of human history, being alone was dangerous. One person couldn't watch for predators, find enough food, protect children, and survive every injury, all by themselves. We needed each other, but living together created a new problem. How do you know when someone else needs you? Imagine an early human gets hurt. They could hide the pain, stay quiet, pretend everything is fine, and the tribe might simply walk away. But humans developed something much harder to ignore: a lowered head, a quieter voice, a change in the face, tears. Suddenly, pain became visible. You didn't have to say, "I need help." Other people could see it, and when they did, something remarkable could happen. They stopped. They came closer. They stayed. Sadness wasn't only happening inside one person's mind anymore. It had become a signal, a way of telling another human, something happened to me. Something mattered. Don't leave me alone. And that may be one reason sadness survived, because sometimes the emotion that makes you feel most alone can be the very emotion that brings someone else closer. But that's only half of what sadness does, because even when nobody else is around, your sadness is still sending a message. Only this time, the message is for you. Because when something goes wrong, your brain could simply forget it, move on, pretend it never happened. But sadness makes that difficult. It slows you down. It brings the moment back again and again. You think about what happened, what you lost, what you could have done differently. And yes, sometimes that hurts, but sometimes that's exactly how we learn. A broken friendship can teach you who you took for granted. A failure can make you try differently next time. Losing something important can finally show you how important it was. Sadness doesn't always give you the answer. Sometimes it simply forces you to stop long enough to ask the question, what mattered? What went wrong? And most importantly, what do I do now? Which brings us back to that perfect world, the one where nobody is ever sad, because now we know what else would disappear with it. So, what if sadness really disappeared? There would be fewer tears, fewer broken hearts, fewer nights wishing things had gone differently. And maybe, for a while, the world really would feel happier. But now we know what that perfect world was missing. Because you can't miss someone if they never mattered to you. You can't grieve something you never cared about. And you can't feel the pain of losing love without first knowing what love felt like. Maybe sadness isn't the opposite of happiness. Maybe sadness is what remains when something mattered enough to hurt. A person, a moment, a dream. So maybe a world without sadness wouldn't be a perfect world after all. It would simply be a world where nothing mattered enough to miss.